To the way that we just discussed of how to represent functions in Python with the def command, there's another situation that we should discuss. When we think of functions, we tend to think of formulas, but remember that a function is just a rule. So any way that you specify that rule is valid. And one option that works especially well when the domain is a finite set is a lookup table. For instance, I could have a function that I call hello, and the domain of this function is the set 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the codomain is the English alphabet. And hello is defined, all I can do is tell you exactly what the values are. So hello of 0 is equal to h, hello of 1 is equal to e, and you see all of the values here. It would be very cumbersome to try to represent this as a function that we defined using a def definition. So instead, what we can do is use a dictionary. A dictionary is a Python data type that looks like this. They're defined using curly braces, and for each input-output pair, you just write the input colon the output. So here what I'm telling it is 0. If you see 0, the output should be h. If you see 1, the output should be e. And this information here corresponds to this other information that was originally given in the definition. If you want to define a function defined by your dictionary, you just plug in the key. Notice for evaluating this, you use square brackets instead of parentheses, because this is really more like a list or a set type object. But if I say hello function of 0, it gives me h like I expected. What happens if I ask it for something that is not defined in the domain? Let's say, what if I ask it for hello function of 7? Then I get a key error. It's telling me I don't have any 7 in my keys because 7 is not in my domain. And remember, when we're dealing with this, the domain is called keys, and the values that the domain inputs take are called values. These are called key value pairs. So dictionaries work really well in Python to represent functions whose domains are finite or for which mathematical formulas aren't easy to come by. And I'm not going to ask you to write docstrings when you're using dictionaries in this way. Even though we're using the dictionary as a mathematical function, it's not what Python thinks of as a function, so you don't need to do the same kind of documentation.